If you want to know why President Trump was being targeted for impeachment, if you want to know why there was this coup attack against President Trump, it's because they didn't want the Justice Department. And if you want to know why Mueller was targeting Trump, because they knew if it came out, there'd be calls for prosecutions. If the Justice Department ever got its act together, if the administration was ever undistracted by these coup attacks, they feared prosecution for this intense corruption. It was all to protect themselves and to protect Hillary Clinton, who also would have been prosecuted not only for her email misconduct, but probably for her team's involvement in this as well. I mean, I know we're all supposed to be excited about Durham. I don't see any evidence anyone significant is going to be prosecuted. I don't. All the folks who knew about this, they all knew, should be prosecuted. They're covering up the Clinton emails, hiding records. He knew she violated the laws related to classified information. In so many ways, it's beyond belief. They found classified information on Anthony Weiner's laptop from the Clinton email server. They didn't do anything about that. In fact, they covered it up. We proved that. And at the same time, they're working with the Clinton campaign, literally working with them, briefing them, talking to the lawyers, talking to Christopher Steele, who was a Clinton agent, their go-between. And even after they knew he was compromised and they couldn't trust him, they knew he was a leaker, they continued to try to work with him through Boussour. How do we know that? Because we proved it. Yeah, the IG talked about it, but we proved it because we had the documents first. You know, Chris Farrell pointed out, and a colleague, he's our lead investigator, he's on our board, he has a piece in the Daily Caller, and he highlights some of the important developments about Crossfire Hurricane. In recent weeks, there have been several important revelations about Crossfire Hurricanes. The Crossfire Hurricane investigation that further damages the reputation of the Bureau and others involved in the case. As he points out, the real collusion obviously was between the Kremlin and Trump's detractors based on these IG report revelations that have only been recently declassified. Of course, these were all in footnotes that were buried. And when you look at what was declassified, it's pretty clear they didn't need to be classified to begin with. And the only reason they were classified was because they were so damaging, in my view, to the FBI and the coup cabal establishment over at the House that at the time was trying to impeach President Trump. Schiff knew about everything in here. He saw the information and he lied about it. He was protected by this cover-up too, by the way. And these are the specifics. One U.S. agency assessed that the sections of Steele's work which detailed Donald Trump's supposedly scandalous behavior during a 2013 trip to Moscow were false and, quote, the product of RIS, Russian intelligence services, infiltrating a source into the network of a redacted, and the name's redacted, who compiled a dossier of information on Trump's activities. As Chris says, why was this critical information withheld? And the analysis is quite obvious, though. It's because it would have been a major headline, and that's why it was withheld. It wasn't for classified national security reasons. You know, remember that trip that Michael Cohen supposedly made to Prague? Completely made up. They knew it was a lie. And yet they continued to push it with the courts.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.